Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are back to watch another episode of Star Wars Andor. This is episode 4. It is called Aldhani. I don't know what that means. But this is, in my opinion, the best Star Wars show, live action show that we've gotten. I think it's better than The Mandalorian. It's not as exciting as The Mandalorian, but I think it's higher quality than The Mandalorian, if that makes sense. It's very much a slow burn, street level crime drama set within the Star Wars universe that simultaneously is going to be showing like the creation of the rebellion and how it affects the people of the galaxy. And it's very exciting, and hopefully it will make me like Cassian a lot more. I'm kind of middle of the road on Cassian as a character in general, but so far, even just the first 3 episodes have already warmed me to him a little bit more. So I'm very excited to jump into episode 4. Before we do that, if you find yourself enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. If you're new here, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see full uncuts for anything I watch on the channel, consider supporting me on Patreon. That would mean the world as well. But otherwise, let's jump into episode 4 of Andor.
There's a match back.
Okay,
Blue, bright.
Picking up immediately after.
Take hold of something. Anyone behind us? Set for Aldhani.
Calculating for Aldhani.
Aldhani's a place.
Calculations complete.
He said to hold on to something.
I haven't agreed to do anything but save my skin.
There you are, with your skin.
Saved already.
Mednog. Just a sip.
Mednog.
Define important.
Galaxy
Taking
defining.
something of real value from the Empire. I'm offering you everything you want, all at once.
What is everything I want?
Freedom.
Since you know so much about me.
To put a real stick in the eye of the Empire. And get paid for it.
Sounds pretty good.
You don't know me. I fought in Mimban when I was 16. 2 years of it. Straight out of prison into the mud.
Dang, you're in prison from 14 to 16?
The Empire had you fighting each other. Which should make you hate them all the more, and you do.
Dang, he knows everything about him.
I imagine that no matter what you tell me or tell yourself, you'll ultimately die fighting these bastards.
He will.
Wouldn't you
know
rather
for a
give it all
fact.
at once to something real, than carve off useless pieces till there's nothing left?
Yes, heck yeah. Full send
I
or
came
don't
for you.
send at all. As Ron Swanson says, never half-ass 2 things, whole-ass 1 thing.
What would we be stealing?
The quarterly payroll for an entire Imperial sector.
Coruscant, baby! Show me that sweet, sweet city! Yes. Ooh, intro to this chick. I know a tiny bit about her. She's someone who's good at their job, surrounded by men who aren't, and cut corners.
Morlana's sector, this incident on Ferrix.
Corporate security, sir. They're still in charge out there. Several dead, property damage, interruption of service. A stolen Imperial Starpath unit was recovered at the scene.
Those responsible.
Unknown, sir.
Young,
She wants to go with.
elaborate on these added protection requests.
Proactive measures, sir. There's an increase in construction shipments going to Scarif, sir.
Oh. Scarif. We know about Scarif. I feel like I recognize that actor too. Could be wrong. What is that?
It's a Quati signet. Blue Kyber, Skystone. The ancient world celebrates the uprising against the Rakatan invaders. Don't take less than 50,000 for it. I want it back when this is over.
So it's got some Kyber crystal in it.
Something I can help you with?
No. He's just thinking about leaving.
He's got steady nerves and he's not afraid to kill.
I can't believe you're doing
You
this.
can pilot.
We go in 3 days.
He increases your chances of success dramatically.
New member of the team.
5 months in, just plug in some new person. It'll tear the team apart.
Well, that's not much of a
She
team.
was in episodes of Doctor Who.
We need this to work, Val. Failure would be devastating. I was planning to shut you down. Your odds have improved since we set the meeting. For the next 3 days, if for any reason... Look at me! You wanted to lead. This is what it comes to. 3 days. Something feels off, something turns. Someone starts to fold. You step up, you lead, you cancel the mission. I need to know you understand.
He got aggressive with it.
Questions?
No. And no, you will not waste further Imperial time reading the report.
But I've had nothing to do with this.
Well, exactly.
You should have had something to do with it. Maybe it might not have gotten effed up.
And ingredients of idiocy, ineptitude, and total disengagement for this farce to have reached the full apex of incredulous disaster. Seriously? Take solace in this. As of this morning, the Milana system is under permanent Imperial authority.
Dang.
Who
This
is
is a
he?
beautiful show already.
Should have asked him that when you had
Like,
the chance.
this episode's so nice looking. What if she's his daughter?
We're robbing the armory at the Aldhani garrison. There's an Imperial airfield nearby, and they've got nothing better to do than patrol. So, this is the safe route.
7 against the garrison!
Save your wind! This is a long walk.
Hey.
Get down, tuck in!
Yep. They weren't supposed to be patrolling over here.
Ensign retrieved a sealed Imperial NS-9 Starpath unit from the site.
Neat.
Right, that gives us jurisdiction. I want you to go to Blevins' office, tell them we need everything they've got on Ferrix.
So they know about this Starpath unit already. That guy looks like that TikTok dancer guy and his wife. The Costin Mayer. If you are on TikTok, you might see the resemblance. That probably feels so good. He's got to put on the costume.
40,000 Aldhanis all across the Highlands.
Wow.
They were here for centuries. But it only took the Empire a decade to clear them out.
It's imperialism at its core.
I want the full Ferrix report.
It's my sector.
An Imperial Starpath unit was stolen from the Steerguard Naval Yard and found at the scene. That gives me jurisdictional access.
You've been here, what, just over a year?
Yep, and she is very aggressive.
Fine. I'll take it to Major Partakas.
This dude's conked. He's sleeping.
Everyone's dead. While you were sleeping, they came in, slit everybody's throat.
Hey!
You ride with Mossy, Garvish, Saul Guerrera.
He's from the Bear. Where's Carmi at, man?
We better make sure they know what's coming.
Shot from the trailer. Everyone's mad that that guy just has an AK. thought there was 7. Is there an extra person somewhere?
Good leave for surprises.
Eh.
That's Skeen. This is Taramin.
Skeen? Taramin?
Nemik.
Nemik? Like Nemik, the Dragon Ball Z planet?
Good to have you, Clem. We'll take all the help we can get.
Wow, you're so kind. What do I know you from? Karn! Where are you going, buddy? Did he get, like, fired? Or does he have to, like, report to Imperial boot camp?
Mother.
Mother. I know I'm not supposed to like him, but something that just sympathizes a character to you. I mean, there's nothing like a mother crying, reuniting to her son.
And we can use a hand, but this late in the game.
As opposed to
You
when?
trust him with our lives?
That's my call to make.
It's true. She's the one in charge.
Vel.
I trust him. Okay? All right?
It's good enough. Look at that fancy car.
Senator Mon Mothma's here.
Yes. Show her to me. Ooh, what's up, Shotty?
Senator, what a pleasure to see you.
You as well, Luthen. Sorry to be so late.
Free your mind, Senator. This is a place where time stands.
Do they know that one another is part of the rebellion? Or is she not part of it yet?
So, a gift for your husband.
Yes, it's his day of days. It's a Chandrilan custom. One of our many.
You're...
Okay. So he runs a art gallery?
May I show you something?
Oh, don't bother. I couldn't afford anything here.
No harm in looking. We just got in some terribly interesting coins.
Why do I recognize this girl, too? I feel like I recognize everybody in this show.
I have something very special that just came in. Come with me.
Oh, maybe they were both putting up a pretense until they can get in private.
If you can't deliver, I need to know.
The money's there. It's just getting very dangerous to move it around. I can't pull funds the way I used to.
So she's the money behind the rebellion.
I found someone I think can help me.
Someone who? To bring into the circle? No.
I know what I'm asking.
No.
Who is it?
No one's more at risk than I am. You think I haven't thought this through? I'd be the first one to fall.
True.
It's a daring choice. But I trust you'll have the courage to turn back. It should be a bit much.
Oh man, just the charade that they have to play. Ooh. You look imperial. Why?
3 days out? What were you gonna do if I couldn't get here today? Just turn up with an extra face to explain?
I knew you'd come through.
We're not prepped for this.
You better be now.
Are we done?
Who is he?
He's Clem. He's here. That's all that matters.
Look, we're wasting daylight. Let's get on with it. Give Nemik a hand.
Just think of Dragon Ball Z. Every time I hear that name. Goku travels to Namek. Cute little bonsai trees. She's got a very fancy apartment. She rich as hell.
Who else is coming?
Sleeping chances there.
Why are you being so passive-aggressive about it?
Danga Slymore from the Vizier's private chamber?
Is that a problem?
You can't be serious. These people hate me. They spend every day trying to undo anything I've touched.
You're at the boring end of the table. These people are fun.
Oh, are they? Are they fun? Your fun friends just cut off their shipping lanes yesterday. Do you know how many will starve?
She cares.
Must everything be boring and sad?
Yeah, when you're friends with people that are totally willing to take advantage of vulnerable people, then yeah.
Now, the Aldhani garrison is a depot for supplies, weapons, and the payroll for the entire Imperial sector.
The rain gets into the glue.
The runway descends underground.
He spent a lot of time crafting this.
We're taking crates of payroll from that room, loading the freighter, and escaping out of the runway tunnel.
Obviously, it's not to scale.
Escaping?
This one dude's just so concerned about the model.
It's a suicide run.
Exactly.
Are you committed or not, Cassian?
Imagine 50 meteor showers all at once, but like a curtain being pulled across the sky. I've been here almost 7 years. I've seen it twice.
Dang.
The eye?
This guy's been in the game for a while.
We've calculated an escape trajectory that gets us out just before the eye closes.
This happens in 3 days' time.
Are you ready?
Are you in all the way?
Full send, baby.
Let's get to it.
This is part of an ongoing effort to steal proprietary Imperial equipment in anticipation of an organized rebellion.
Here, we act on vetted and verified information.
She sees what's going down, though.
You're supposed to be more competent and tucked away. That's why you're here. That's why we're bringing in officers like you.
Like her? What you mean by that, brother? She just, she sees things that they don't see. And maybe if they trusted her, they might have squashed the rebellion.
That's the Rono freighter specs and the console layout. That's a detailed map of the garrison. That's an Aldhani phrase book.
Can I eat my food?
And you'll have learned all that by morning.
They're taking this seriously. If you want to fight, you gotta fight. Oh, come on! Dang, I was not expecting it to end that quickly. All right, so the game is afoot for multiple parties. I feel like we are finally, we're seeing these individuals in their roles, in their positions to make the team work, if that makes sense, right? So we have Luthen playing the role of the museum curator, essentially, just schmoozing people up, right? He's got the wig on. I think his secretary is part of the rebellion as well, because she was covering for him when he wanted to talk to Mon Mothma. We have Mon Mothma very much playing the role of a Democratic senator who's just, fighting for the rebellion. I saw that the showrunners described Mon Mothma in this show as kind of like a Nancy Pelosi esque type person. Like that's kind of the position she's in, where she is kind of the leader of, say, like the Democrat side of the Senate, and her boyfriend, I think husband, is at least friends with a bunch of Republican senators, and he invited them all for dinner. And she's like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, they spend all day trying to not only undo what I've done, but like the things they sign off on are horrible. And you're just like inviting them over for dinner. Like, I imagine that's often actually how it goes in, the American Senate, is there's probably plenty of Republican and Democrat senators who are friends and, you know, hang out sometimes or eat food together, and the image that they put forth for their respective side is very much just like a public thing and not always a private thing. But it seems Mon Mothma is very much the type who is like, she feels this way publicly and privately, where like she's trying to help people and you know support the low person and the vulnerable, and this other side is undoing her work and taking advantage of people. And her husband is like chill about it. He's like, oh, they're fun. And it's like, bro, who cares if they're fun? They're awful people. Like, how can you be okay with the things they're doing? So she's a very moral person, and so you can see how she would desire to get rid of it, right? Like, she would desire to be part of the rebellion, and she is playing the role of the financial backer, essentially. So she's appropriating funds from probably various imperial budgetary-esque areas, right? Like, she probably used to have just like a set budget that she could draw from, but now she has to kind of finagle it around, and so she's essentially financially backing the rebellion. And she's very much in a risky spot, because like if her role gets exposed, like, she's publicly executed, not just like shot in an alley somewhere. Like, they'll make a spectacle of executing her, and it will essentially tear down the entire rebellion if she is caught. So she's very much like on the hot edge of a knife with her role. Coruscant is close to the enemy. It's close to the Imperial Senate, and so her and Luthen are both playing very dangerous games where they're at. And then we have Vel, right? That was her name, Vel, and her band of merry misfits taking Cassian in as they are preparing to assault a garrison and steal some stuff. I could be super off base, but I feel like Vel is related to Luthen. I just like something about the dynamic they had. Maybe he's just so passionate about the rebellion that when he's like when it really comes down to whether or not something needs to happen, he can get aggressive. But like, for some reason, the way they were talking to each other, I kind of got the vibe of like, he's her dad. Right? I don't know, because he was like, you wanted to lead, like, this is it. And he was like prepared to shut her down, like if he didn't think they could do it. Granted, he's sending her on a suicide run, so maybe they're not related. I don't know. But she kind of gives off the vibe of like, she's the daughter of a high-ranking individual who's been put in charge of a project and has to show her worth to the overall cause, if that makes sense. None of the people are happy that Cassian's there, obviously, because they, it's not just like a new team member joining, right? Like, you all know the feeling when you're at your job and like you have your job friends and then a new person gets hired and they work the same shift as you and the vibe is just off. You're like, I don't know if I can trust this person with our vibe, if that makes sense. And it's no longer, it's not just that, it's like they have a specific project that they have to accomplish and someone's being brought in last minute, kind of like a ringer, and it's like, okay, do they not trust us to get this done ourselves? Like, we don't need this guy, but they do need this guy. So it's like it could be viewed as like a football team, or a baseball team or a hockey team or whatever, that they've been doing all right in the regular season, just kind of with the people that they have, and then 2 weeks before the season ends, I know this circumvents cap rules and roster rules, so just ignore the actual logistical how this would work within a sports season. But it's like they sign a free agent a week before the playoffs start, and it's like and he replaces a fan favorite, say, or a locker room favorite, and those people are going to be mad. They're going to be like, bro, like, F this dude. Like, we don't want this guy here. He's throwing off the vibe. But really, he's super good, and he will be incredibly valuable to the team. And so he's got to learn everything, and they're not taking it slow on him either. Like, they're being very plain with like how important this is, and they're being kind of short in their speech. They're like, this needs to get done. You're gonna learn this. You're gonna learn this. You're gonna learn this. You have tomorrow, right? Like, for these people, they're in the middle of a war, and they've been in the middle of this war for a while. That one guy has been on this base for 7 years. Whether or not he's been part of the rebellion for 7 years or not, who knows? Maybe he was recruited midway through, but like, he's been here for 7 years. There's either two options: that he is willing to throw away, years of work and years of experience, life experience on this spot, and just kind of upend himself because this is so important. Or this is so important that he's been willing to sacrifice years of his life for the completion of this task. And so they're in it. Like, and Cassian's like, can I eat my food first? And they're like, yeah, eat the food and then get this shiz done. Because this is the real deal. Like, Cassian was used to casual living, right? Stealing things when he can, making a little bit of pocket change off that. And now he was in the minor leagues before. He was playing baseball for fun. And now he is being introduced to the major leagues, where it's a job. Like, this is not only a job, but it is their lives. And then the episode ends. It's like, oh man, this show's so good though. Like, the tension that they're able to build throughout the whole thing, of like, even when they're not directly in a situation where like they could be caught, right? Like, they're not like talking to the emperor and having to pretend to be part of his club at the moment. They're just like living their lives with this mask on, and also on the other flip side, like preparing a rebellion. The tension is so high, and you can feel it. It's like palpable. Just from even just the way that everyone talks to each other. There's just this seething tension underneath, and you're like, ooh, it's already building, and you know where it leads to, and so like the ups and downs of how this comes together is gonna be brilliant. I don't know what else to say. This was a solid episode. It was the longest episode, and it felt really short. Like, this was before credits. This was 43 minutes, roughly. After including credits and intro, this was like 49 minutes. By far the longest episode they've put out so far, and it felt like it sped through. Like, they were quick with it. So, yeah, and this show's visually stunning. Like, the planet they were on last time, you're like, oh, this looks good. I think this is truly the episode where they really show off, like, shooting on location. Like, this show's probably expensive, just because they shoot on location so much. but I like that. I like that they're not using the volume and just like building out a 20-foot set and then having it. Like, they're legit like on these mountains in like Ireland or something. And it looks incredible. All the practical like objects, whether it be their cloaks, the ships, the everything, it just looks good. Yeah, and it just seemed you can feel the intention of a well-crafted show, and this is my jam. This is my jam. This is my jam. It's a Vine reference, in case you guys were wondering. No, freaking A. This is wonderful. I loved this episode. I think this is feels like episode 1 almost. The first 3 were the prologue, if that makes sense, and then this is episode 1. This is when we really start, and then the story really goes. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the episode down in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you liked my reaction, leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon. That would mean the world as well. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.